I believe that people think you can build wealth with your 9 to 5, but I'm gonna let you know today that you can definitely build wealth with your 9 to 5, and that is something I plan on doing. I plan on retiring at 50, and majority, 90% of that money is gonna come from my 9 to 5. First way that you can build wealth, and the first way that I'm building wealth through my 9 to 5, is through my 401k. Some people do not like 401ks. Some people don't believe in them. Some people just don't even believe in having a 9 to 5. Why would you work 20, 25 years just so you can do what you want? Well, hey, I'm here to say that's something I'm gonna do, because majority of the time, a normal person is not gonna have the ambition, it's not gonna have the drive to start their own business, generate enough income to be financially free in that moment. And a lot of times, owning your own business doesn't come with a lot of freedom, because it's a lot of responsibility, because everything is on you. So the first way that I'm going to be building wealth through my 9 to 5 is by investing into my 401k. I'm always going to get my match. If you don't know what a match is, your company basically says, if you put in 5%, we'll put in 5%. That's free money. So that's 10% of your money going towards your retirement, and the other 5 is literally free. For me personally, I'm going to put in about 15% of my income into my 401k, maybe 20. I don't think I'll ever be really able to max it out, but honestly, I don't need to max it out. I believe that my investing plan is solid. So I only need to put about 15% into my 401k. If you want to know how much you need to put into your 401k or how much you need to put in retirement, you know your FI number. Basically, how much money do you need to retire? I say my FI number just in my 401k is about $1 million or 1.2 million. So if I continue to put in 15% of my income and slowly raise that over the years, I will have that, which is good enough for me. I don't need to overfund my 401k and potentially not have money just for spending, or not have enough money for right now. I want to have enough money for right now, but I also want to prioritize my future. And the second thing I'm going to do to build wealth with my 9 to 5 is to keep my lifestyle stable while my income increases. Now, my income is not gonna increase a lot over the year. It might be a 1 or 2% increase. So I need to be sure to not increase my lifestyle too much. And that comes from lifestyle inflation. If you start spending the money that you're gaining every year, you're never going to get ahead. So I need to be sure to live within my means. And that is one of the main ways that I'm going to be building wealth and going to become a millionaire with my 9 to 5. Now, there's problems with lifestyle inflation, but there's also no problem with lifestyle inflation. With discretion, you should increase your lifestyle if you make more money. If you go from $100,000 to $150,000 a year, you're still, living like you are making $60,000. I mean, you can increase your lifestyle a little bit. Go out a little more. Take your family out a little more. Go on maybe one more vacation this year. But you have to be sure that it doesn't get away from you, and you're not just out here buying all these brand new cars or all these brand new toys that you don't need and not prioritizing your future. So lifestyle creep is definitely a thing, and you want to try to avoid it, especially if you're not investing. So what I'm going to do is, whenever I get an increase, I'm going to increase my 401k by that much. So if I get a 1% raise, I might just increase my 401k by 1%. And then maybe next year I get a 1% or 2% raise. And then maybe I'll keep that in my budget and maybe inflate my lifestyle a little bit, because I do want to enjoy that money in the present. Generally, I'm going to keep my lifestyle stable so I can benefit greatly from the raise in income, because by raising my investments when my income raises, I will retire that much quicker. And the third thing I'm going to do to build wealth with my 9 to 5 is to automate everything. Now, I talk about automating my bills. I talk about automating my investments. I talk about automation. It's the best thing since sliced bread, because it really is. Automation is the key to building wealth. That's how I run my life. Life has become so easy by automating my bills, by automating my expenses, by automating my investing and saving. How do I automate my investing? I automate my investing by having a certain amount of money automatically come out of my pre-tax dollars and go into my 401k. So my 401k is automatically invested, and everyone's 401k is mostly automatically invested into the markets. I make sure that the money that goes to my 401k is actually going to a fund that grows exponentially, a fund that follows the S&P 500, because if we're not investing into something that grows a lot, if we're just investing into safe investments that don't grow as much, what are we doing? We're young, we're in our 20s, we're in our 30s, we need to be investing into funds that grow at an 8, 10, 12% rate of return. Also, I invest into a Roth IRA. I don't invest in my brokerage account anymore. I invest into a Roth IRA. So I make sure that I have money automatically coming out of my post-tax income, going to my Roth IRA and investing that money into the S&P 500. I also have money that's getting automatically put into my savings account, and that money is just growing and growing every month. Automation is really one of the best ways to build wealth. It takes out the middleman. It takes out the hesitation. It takes out the second guessing of how much should I put in, where should I put it, and it does it all for you. And you end up living off whatever is left. And another way that the 9-to-5 is great for building wealth is because it reduces risk. A 9-to-5 can be very safe, and that's the best thing about it. It can be very stable. Even at times when people are still losing jobs, a 9-to-5 can be very stable. You're more than likely guaranteed to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You get life insurance, you get automatic investments to your 401k. 9-to-5 is not all bad. I said before, people want to just work their 9-to-5, end up quitting, and go start a business. And it's not always easy. Businesses don't have a good success rate, but working a 9-to-5, you can have a stable job for 20, 25 years, retire, live out your life, and then just be completely fine with that. But you have to be fine with that. Some people are not fine with that. Me personally, I'm fine with that. I'm also fine with building a business, but I just don't think that I will leave the stable 9-to-5 unless my business starts making a lot of money. I will have to make that money from a side business for at least 3 to 4 to 5 years before I feel comfortable enough to leave my 9-to-5. So a 9-to-5 is really not all bad. And a lot of jobs, you may have overtime where you might get time and a half extra, or you may get double pay. So 9-to-5 can be very profitable if you put in the work, you put in the hours, and you really focus on what you want to accomplish and not mess around. Like, you can literally put in overtime, do all these things, and then go spend your money on stupid stuff. Go spend your money on things that's not going to bring you financial freedom in the future. Or you can use your 9-to-5 as a tool to build wealth. The choice is yours. And the fifth thing I'm doing to build wealth with my 9-to-5 is also focusing on businesses and adventures and things I want to do outside of the job. Like I said, having a 9-to-5 is very stable, but I also want to have a 5-to-9, something that I do when I get off. And this is my thing right now. I've had other things, Amazon and things like that. I've enjoyed making YouTube videos, and maybe one day it'll become profitable. But honestly, this is a great outlet for me to talk finances, so I'm not talking my wife's head off. I can talk to you guys or just look back on my journey and see where my financial situation has gone, see how it's changed, and it has been really helpful for me. So you can use your 9-to-5 to build wealth, and then when you get out of work, you go and build that business. But like I said, some people leave too early from their 9-to-5 and they go start a business. And when that business fails, they might want to go back to 9-to-5, and it's very difficult to get that back. At the end of the day, it's about growing the gap, investing in the gap, and repeat. Grow your income, keep your expenses low, raise your income, and that in between, you want to invest the difference. And this is how you retire with the 9-to-5. And this is how I plan on retiring with the 9-to-5. And I hope you guys are here for my journey. I'm only 28, and like I said, I have 20 more years left. That's a lot of years, but guess what? I can invest in those years. I'm also gonna be spending in those years. I'll also be going on vacation, building a family, still doing everything someone with the business is doing, but maybe a little bit less, because I do have this 9-to-5 that is somewhat holding me down. But right now, guys, that is completely fine with me, because like I said, it's very stable, very safe, and I can invest and reach my future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.